The next theory that we will talk about is Vygotsky's theory on the development of language in children. He says that language is both a tool and a means. So what does this mean? So he says that language is a way through which children are able to connect with the S and the C in his theory. That is, Vygotsky's cognitive development theory is built on the concepts of social factors, cultural factors, and language. So language is the means through which children can interact with the social factors and the cultural factors. So language is the means of interacting and connecting with S and C. And language is obviously the tool for communication, that is for sending and receiving information. And he also says that language is also the means through which children can process the information that they have received and convert it into knowledge. So to summarize, language is what is used to connect with social factors and cultural factors. Language is used for sending and receiving information. And language is also the means through which this information is processed by children and converted into knowledge. Next, he says that words are signals that are used by adults. And these signals represent some things and ideas. And these words are then learned by children when the children are interacting with these adults. So that is how children learn words and children learn language. For example, when I show this animal to my child and tell her that this is a dog, and I keep repeating it once, twice, thrice, so she starts associating this word dog, which is a signal, with this animal. I do the same thing with a cow, so she starts associating the word with a cow, and this is a ball, this is a tree. So that is how my child is learning language through words, and she is learning to associate those words, which are essentially signals, with different things, animals, plants, and ideas. And then he also talks about the concept of inner speech. So as we have discussed previously also, inner speech is nothing but the expression of thought in the form of language. When children are playing alone, they are usually talking to themselves. So this talk or this speech is not aimed at anybody else. The speech is being used for self-regulation and self-direction. They are just giving instructions to themselves, or they are just thinking out aloud. And he says that this inner speech is what connects thought and language, because inner speech is nothing but the expression of thought in the form of language. He says that inner speech helps the development of language. And Vygotsky says that language and thought both will start developing right from the time of birth, and at around the age of 2 years. That is when these two will come together and form private speech. And private speech becomes silent inner speech as the child grows older, because the child now is self-conscious and doesn't want others to hear his or her thoughts. So the private speech may continue for the rest of the person's life, just that it becomes silent inner speech. So this is Vygotsky's theory on the development of language in children.